Hello, good evening, you guys. My name is Ann Laurie. I'm the director of the cycling division for Ventures Endurance, and we're excited to have you guys here. We're going to go ahead and get started. I think folks will join in and out as we host the town hall, but this is the first one that we've hosted since taking over the event in 2022, and we're excited for you guys to meet the team and learn about what we've been planning for 2024. I will just introduce the folks that you're seeing on your screen. We do have a Q&A that you can submit questions. We also have the questions that you submitted in advance, and we'll kind of work through an agenda, kind of a presentation that we have for you to showcase a lot of the different aspects of the ride. And then at the end, we'll go through that Q&A. But on your screen today, and the team that you see in front of you is Sabra Nagel, who's our ride director for Ride The Rockies. Laura Rice, who's our event operations manager, and then Peter Indovino, who's our marketing coordinator. So you're going to hear from all of them tonight, and we're excited to share what we've been doing since June of last year. So Sabra, I'm going to share my screen, and then you can take it from here.
Hi, everyone. Hopefully you can all hear me. So we put together a little presentation that will hopefully answer quite a bit of your questions going forward about Ride the Rockies, but we are always here to help you out in any way we can. Oftentimes you guys think of something that we don't think of. So it's always good to get input from our participants and our fans, because it definitely really helps us to make the event better and target it towards our people. So, and if you want to, do you want me to go ding every time I want a new slide? So this is on our website, but this is our route for this year. As you can see, I can't tell you how beautiful this part of the country is. For those of you who have not been to Northwest Colorado, you got to come. You're going to love it. But we do start in Steamboat Springs. We do have a prologue, which I'll talk about briefly in Steamboat Springs. And then we're going to head to Craig, followed by Meeker, followed by Rangeley. 2 nights in Rangeley. And the Dinosaur National Monument is a jewel. It's an unknown part of Colorado, and it is a jewel. And then down to Fruita. And as you can see, which is also a jewel, actually. And as you can see on the maps, we have 2 optional, I emphasize optional, gravel days. They're going to be really exciting and really fun, and we'll talk about those a little bit too. Next slide. So day 0, the prologue, will be on June 9. There's some other prologue activities I'll discuss in just a second as well. If you want to go to the next slide, I'm going to hand it. Oh, I'm not yet. Okay, so the prologue experience will be in Steamboat Springs. Like I said, it's a 2-day thing. So on Saturday, if you join us, we'll do some send people to the Old Town Hot Springs, get you all loosened up and comfy for your ride. Then bar crawl. So don't get too loose and comfy, because we want to get you back to your hotels that night. On Sunday, we have a 42-mile ride. It will stop at Moot Cycles for a factory tour and lunch. And then that night, we have a fantastic 5-course meal at the Laundry Restaurant, which is an amazing, really good place. Anybody who signs up for the prologue gets some really exclusive swag, and we will have special guests. And what's not on this slide because of the dynamic pricing is if you go for the full Monty on the prologue, it does include 2 nights hotel room in Steamboat Springs. So now I'm going to throw it over to Pete. He's put together an ambassador program, and he's going to talk about it briefly, and then we'll jump back into the route information.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Really appreciate it. Oh, go back. Yeah, so we started an ambassador program for 2024. We're really excited about. We have 11 riders, and they're up on our website right now. So I encourage you to go check them out and give them a follow on social. They'll be posting a bunch of tips for the ride, anywhere from packing tips to training tips, and super helpful stuff. There's a lot of hard riding, and a lot of these people are Colorado based who have ridden some of these parts, and really our strong riders all together. There's also a Strava club, which is on that ambassador page. We've already had a lot of people sign up for that. So that's great. Our ambassador Mateo put that together for us. So I encourage you guys to go check them out. Furthermore, they're not just posting on social, they'll be joining us for the ride. All throughout the ride, they'll have specific merch so you're able to find them. And we will have a ambassador booth at all the expos. So feel free to come up and say hi. They'll be helping enforce some of those rules of the road and just overall kind of representing our brand this year. So excited to have those guys.
Yeah, we've met with a lot of the ambassadors and they're really a lot of fun. So this is the prologue route. And if you register for the prologue, that's just for the 2 days with the things that I mentioned. If you want to join us for the ride, which we really encourage, then there is a bundle on the website so you can do prologue and the week-long event. But as you can see, we'll be starting in Steamboat Springs. The hotels we've chosen for the prologue are up on the mountain, so we'll start from there. We're going to ride out to Clark Store, which is kind of an infamous, famous cycling destination in the Steamboat area. Have a snack, then ride back, and we'll have a lunch and a factory tour at Moots. So it should be, and the Yampa Valley, or the valley we're going up, it's the Elk River Valley, is just gorgeous. It's a beautiful ride through the ranch land. Day 1, we ride from Steamboat to Craig, and that'll be on June 2nd. And the route covers, I've been told that this part of the route is a favorite, the triangle lower part of the ride is a favorite route from past years when the event has gone to Steamboat, so I'm happy to be able to throw that in. We do have a decent climb that day, so it's a good way to warm up for the rest of the week. And we will be stopping hopefully in Hayden and have a food truck there for people who want to purchase lunch or have an aid station in Hayden. And I should mention there's no aid stations on any of these maps because we're still working on permits and permissions for them. But as soon as we get them, we'll definitely be putting them on the maps, and those will be on the website. So you'll be able to find out that we have aid stations. Every day averages between 14 and 20 miles apart. So a nice distance for the ride. Day 2, we go from Craig to Meeker. These lovely people are our support team in Meeker, and they were just introduced to our mascot, Rocky, so they were very excited to meet Rocky. Day 2, again, we have 61 miles. We have 3,300 feet or 3,250 feet of climbing approximately. We follow along the Yampa River, kind of skirting the flat tops. It's just an absolute beautiful event, or a beautiful day of riding. Some challenging climbs, but it's going to be, and some fantastic views. Day 3, we go from Meeker to Rangeley, and the Colorado Northwestern Community College will be our hosts in Rangeley for 2 nights, which is awesome. So this is the day you get to relax a little bit. This is 58 miles, only 1,900 feet in elevation gain. 90% of it is downhill. I don't know about percentages, but a lot of it's downhill. So you can relax and ride and coast, because when we get to day 4, this is where the special treat comes in. So day 4, we're overnighting in Rangeley, but we get to go to the Dinosaur National Monument. And we have 3 routes that day, actually. We have the short and the long route. What's really nice about this is there's a lot of options for people. If your spouses or your significant others want to come and join you in Rangeley, but aren't up for the 6,800, 6,900 or 5,400 feet of climbing, they can just do that little triangle you see on the bottom, meet you in Dinosaur. If you feel more adventurous, you can climb up to Canyon Overlook and turn around. And if you're really feeling adventurous, go on out to Harper's Corner Overlook. We'll have a 100-mile patch for you out there. So there'll be a goal at the end of your 53.5 miles. Making me do math here. Or if you're wanting really adventurous, the next, you can also have the Rangeley Gravel Day. And we've had a ton of questions about, go back just a second, Ann. We've had a ton of questions about what the gravel looks like. This is pretty much representative of what the gravel looks like on this day. It's nice, sandy, red, soily, should be nice and hard packed by June. So it should be just a brilliant ride for that day. Okay. So this is our gravel route. As you can see, it follows a lot of the same route as the long and the short ride as far as the lower part of the triangle. And then it goes out and around the Dinosaur National Monuments, crosses it on Harper's Corner Road. And these people get to ride into Utah, which is kind of fun because Ride the Rockies has never dipped a toe into Utah before. And then day 5, we leave Rangeley and we head for Fruita. And Rocky loves Fruita because Rocky loves hot tomato. So this is the road route down into Fruita. It's 79 miles. It's 4,200 elevation gain. The views from the top of Douglas Pass are, I'm going to say they're all the way to New Mexico. That's probably an exaggeration, but the views are tremendous. They're absolutely tremendous. And we also have a gravel option on this day. And the gravel option, I call it the Dragon Route because it's on, and again, here's a nice representation of what the gravel looks like. It's not big, chunky gravel. This is Radler. Radler is our dragon, and he is our Dragon Route mascot, and he was practicing his bike form that day on a rock. So, but that's the biggest rock I found out there. Radler's about 3 inches tall, so that gives you an indication. The gravel option leaves Rangeley basically the same way that the road route does, but then joins up with a lot of miles of gravel up over Douglas Pass or Baxter Pass, excuse me, and ends up on the same route as the road down in the Fruita area. So you all join up together just above Loma. So that kind of covers the route. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed day 6. My apologies. How could I forget day 6? This is the crown day. We designed it to be shorter this day because it's really hard to get through Colorado National Monument in a timely manner. There's too many things to look at. And so it's a 39-mile route. It's got 3,100 feet of elevation gain. We're doing it counterclockwise, which is fun. It doesn't always go counterclockwise, or is that? Yeah. And we start and finish in Fruita, and Fruita's planning a tremendous finish celebration for us. So I know there's other questions. You can switch and about shuttles and logistics. And so we've put together some little infogram type forms for you to look at. These will be on the website. Prologue, if you want to drive your car to Fruita, you can get a long-term parking pass. We will have a special shuttle for you on June 8th that will take you from the Fruita High School and get you into Steamboat in time for the hot springs. Same thing if you're flying into Grand Junction. You can fly into Grand Junction. They have a ton of different shuttles that can get you up to Fruita, where you can hop on the shuttle by 10 a.m. and ride the ride. On the 9th, there's a couple of options. You can drive to Fruita. Summit Cycling Solutions is selling shuttle rides from Fruita to Steamboat on the front end. So what's awesome about that is on June 15th, your car will be waiting for you in Fruita, and you can just head home or stay in Fruita for the weekend and enjoy all of the extremely awesome cycling they have in Fruita. The other option is to drive to Steamboat, do the ride, and then Summit Cycling Solutions is also offering a shuttle on the back end that will leave from some destination in Fruita and take you back on the 15th to Steamboat, where you can grab your car and go home, or you can spend the weekend in Steamboat with an equal number of fantastic cycling adventures. And Summit has all of this info on their website. If you know, and we have links on our website to their site as well. If you're flying into Grand Junction, you can purchase a one-way shuttle from Fruita to Steamboat at the on the front end, and get to Summit Shuttles, and they'll bring you. And so you would fly into the Grand Junction Regional Airport, and they'll bring you up to Steamboat so that you can ride the ride and then fly out of Grand Junction on the finish on June 15th. We are offering a round trip out of Denver or from the Denver area. It won't be from the airport, but we'll give you all the details if you do sign up for this option. This will be handled by Ride the Rockies, so it's on our website. And we'll pick you up and return you. We'll pick you up, take you to Steamboat, and return you to Denver after the ride. And you also have the option to fly into Yampa Regional Airport, which is outside of Steamboat. They have a ton of local shuttles that'll get you to Steamboat, and then fly out of Grand Junction, get yourself to the Grand Junction Airport, and fly out. I priced all this out months ago, and for June this year, and it actually was the most economical way, was to fly into Yampa and out of Grand Junction. There's also the option of flying into Denver, getting on the Ride the Rockies shuttle one way, and then flying out of Grand Junction at the end. So there's a ton of logistical options if you want to fly in or drive into this event. We will do everything we can to make it happen for you. And this would be if you wanted to fly in and out of Yampa round trip. You would fly in, get yourself a local shuttle to Steamboat, and then grab the Summit Cycling Solutions shuttle out of Fruita at the end to get back on the 15th to Steamboat. It's a lot of slides. So I did a little research. This is from Kyle Kirby, The Ultimate Guide to Bicycle Airline Fees from March of last year. But as of the research I could find, this shows the airlines that do fly into either Yampa Regional or Grand Junction, and whether they charge extra for bikes or whether they treat them as first bags. And just about all of these airlines treat them as first bags. So it would, if you're not a member of that airline frequent flyer, you would pay your first bag fee, but that would be all for shipping your bicycle as luggage along to bring it out with you. And if you have questions about when doing that and where to get your bike assembled, if you need help reassembling your bike after traveling with it, we can point you to the direction of some shops in Steamboat for sure. So these are add-on services you can purchase off our website or off of Summit Cycling Solutions. We do have long-term parking, week-long parking passes available at either Steamboat or Fruita. In order to park there for the week, you must have a parking pass because they will be checking the vehicles that are in the parking lot. Our week-long vehicle pass is if you have, that's the car price or the RV price, and that's if you have a support vehicle that you'd like to come along with you. And this guarantees that they will have a parking space very close to the venues in the HQs every night. And Laura will go into that in just a minute. The hotel luggage service is offered by Summit Cycling Solutions. If you book yourself into hotels and they have a front desk, they will deliver your luggage every night to that hotel. So you won't have to worry about luggage transport. We obviously have camping with Ride the Rockies, and that's included. We do have indoor camping this year, backed by popular demand. That's being run by community charitable organizations, and so they are asking for a $20 donation for any night that you indoor camp. Of course, we have the elevated camping, as always, with Summit Cycling Solutions, and they have single or double occupancy pricing. And then the shuttle pricing for the day 0 to get to Steamboat or day 6 to get home from Fruita with Summit Cycling Solutions, or if you want to do the Denver round trip shuttle, and you would purchase that on our website. And now it's I'm pleased to hand it over to Laura. She's our event ops person, and she's been working really hard to make sure that all of these venues are going to have all the amenities that you're expecting and all in one place.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Sabra. Yeah, so working on our venues with each of our host communities. I know Sabra has said many times how beautiful this route is, and she's not understating it. Every time we've gone on our site visits, visiting each community, it truly is spectacular, and it's only going to get more amazing as we move into the springtime. So definitely, it'll be scenic, it'll be beautiful, it'll be memorable, and at the end of your ride, you're going to have some great venues to hang out in. So we can, go to Steamboat Springs. So we start everything off in Steamboat Springs. We'll have our expo. We'll have one of our long-term parking options here. And as you can see here, everything is pretty close together. It's just, basically a stone's throw, a hop and a skip from everything that you're going to need to kick off the ride. We have our camping, both for our included camping and camping elevated, right there at the Steamboat Springs High School. We have an indoor camping location available in their gym. We'll have our RV and support vehicle parking once again on the high school grounds, and then our long-term parking for vehicles. So if you're coming into Steamboat Springs and going to leave your vehicle, this is where it'll be parked for the duration of the ride. Just below the school, we'll have our expo, HQ, beer garden, all that stuff to kick everything off. So our prologue ride will also stop by here during their ride to get checked in and get all the good stuff ready to go for when we start our ride on the 10th. All right. So in Steamboat Springs, if you haven't been there, it's really, really awesome. Just some of the little highlights of this community. Once again, we've got our HQ. Everything's all nice together. They have an incredible town shuttle system, so you can get from HQ once you've checked in down to the downtown area and check everything out. The community is super welcoming, very excited to have us there. Rocky, our mascot, was making friends everywhere he went on the last town visit. And there really are some great dining and drinking options, whether you join the prologue or, go and explore on your own. Next slide. Thank you. All right. So day one, we end up in Craig, and we'll have everybody gathered at the Moffat County Fairgrounds. As you see, once again, we've kept everything nice and close together. So when you roll into town, you'll have everything right there kind of at the tips of your fingers. We've got an amazing camping facility for those that are choosing to camp with restrooms very conveniently placed. Your luggage will be right there ready for you. We'll have showers, once again, waiting for you once you kind of roll in off the bike. We have indoor camping set up at this location as well. Lots and lots of parking for RV and support vehicles. Once again, you're right there in the main area. Bike corral and our beer garden HQ area right there in the center of it all. We've been working with the community to organize some great food trucks there for when you arrive for lunch, followed by an amazing community dinner if you want to stay in the HQ area for dinner, and a great community breakfast as well. And you can't really see it on this map, but right across the street, there's a nice gas station. So if you, need to go get your snacks or anything like that, that'll be right across the street for you. The Moffat County Fairgrounds is really close to downtown Craig. So we'll make sure that we keep everybody able to get downtown so you can explore downtown via shuttle as well. Craig is really cool little town there in Moffat County. There's the Museum of Northwest Colorado, which boasts the largest watercolor in the world. Definitely recommend checking that out. Spent a few hours there on our last site visit learning all about the history of the region, and it's pretty exciting. In Moffat County, we'll be there a couple times. It's the second largest county in the state of Colorado. So there's your little trivia for the night. All right, next. All right, so in Meeker, we'll be at the Rio Blanco Fairgrounds, continuing our fairground tour with our ride. Here we have, once again, an amazing venue. Our contacts there at the Rio Blanco Fairgrounds with the town of Meeker are very welcoming and very happy to have us there. We have an amazing camping venue, an incredible beer garden setup and kitchen setup for some great meals. Our HQ area will be right there next to everything. We've got some great indoor camping in their exhibit halls. Showers will be right in the middle. They're easy to get to. Secure bike corral, luggage right there, whether you're doing indoor camping or outdoor camping. And then our RV parking, right now it's kind of in the spot marked on the map. It'll be actually a little closer within the actual venue based on elevation because we don't want any of y'all rolling away overnight. So we're going to actually move you into the fairground area. So we'll work on updating these maps, but as you can see, everything's right there. So you'll be in the thick of it. And, that'll be a good thing. Some of the really fun things about Meeker, once again, most of these venues and the HQs are really close to downtown. We'll make sure there are shuttles to get you downtown as well. The scenery around here and around the White River is just beautiful. So it's just, once you're done riding through all the majestic scenery, you'll still get to see it while you're there spending the night. And they also have another of these little awesome town museums, in addition to some really cool local restaurants and breweries. Next. All right, so Rangeley. Here you kind of, get to take it easy for a little bit. You don't have to pack everything up every day. We're staying at a really incredible venue, the Colorado Northwestern Community College. They've got lots of space, so we're really able to kind of spread out, but still keep everything nice and compact. We've got lots of room for our tent camping, RV and support parking. The showers will be located close to everything. They've got an amazing indoor camping facility in one of their gyms. We'll have a bike corral actually inside at this location, which is pretty awesome. And then our HQ and finish area kind of in the middle of everything. Beer garden stage will be set up in between our dorm lodging areas. So once again, you'll just kind of have access to everything you could want there on the campus. Something to note that's really cool about Rangeley is that the college has dorms that are available. So, when you're there, you'll be able to unpack, be inside if you choose the dorm lodging, and kind of relax for a couple of days and really enjoy the rides. This venue is the furthest away from our downtown areas, but there'll be a shuttle system to get you downtown to explore Rangeley. One of the awesome things, once again, is 2-night stays. You can kind of kick back and relax when you finish your day one of riding to Rangeley. The local attractions are really cool. There's a sound tank concert area. And then they also have a old tractor museum. That's awesome. And once again, it's just gorgeous. So definitely explore the community while you're there. And then they also have lots of on-site amenities at the college. So there's a game room. They have coffee shops and all sorts of good things there to enjoy. Next. All right. So after our 2 days in Rangeley, we'll head down to Fruita. We'll get comfortable in Fruita for a night and, wrap up the ride there. In Fruita, our expo and HQ area will be at the Fruita Civic Center. It's kind of a pretty recognizable part of Fruita if you've been there before. And if it's your first time in Fruita, you can get really comfortable and get to explore what makes Fruita so special. So we'll have live music here. We'll have our HQ, beer garden, bike corral, everything nice and central to downtown. As you see, you are right in the heart of downtown at our finish area. And then our camping, showers, and RV parking is just a block and a half away. So if we can go to the next slide. Here you see Fruita Middle School, which is going to be our camping and parking location. Same thing, we've got a really safe, secure camping area for everybody, both indoors and outdoors if you choose to do indoor camping. We've got our RV and support parking right there, along with our secured bike corral. And then your luggage will be dropped off there, transported there with our luggage service for our riders, and then camping elevated riders will also be taken care of. Indoor camping is in the school facility, and we'll make sure we've got our showers and everything, all the amenities will be there at this location as well. There will also be shuttles and ways for you to get from the camping location down to the HQ location and to other areas that you might want to explore in Fruita. They're also working really, really hard putting together an amazing celebration on our last day of riding. And I think we can go to the next slide, some of our highlights of Fruita. Yeah, their downtown is simply amazing. They've got lots of great fruit and drink options. They'll be hosting the amazing celebration after riding through the Colorado National Monument, which is, once again, just absolutely stunning. After you ride up into the monument, you get to look back and see where you came down from Rangeley, excuse me, which is really, really pretty cool. Right, and so Fruita will also have our other long-term parking. That'll be at the Fruita Monument High School. It'll be a secured long-term parking there, so you'll be, good to go and catch the shuttle to get to Steamboat Springs to start. Once again, you do have to purchase the long-term parking pass because they will be checking the cars, but you can purchase that at registration or add it to your registration. Those are our venues. Sabra, back to you or us. Yeah.
So this is the view she was referring to when you're up in the monument. You can see the ridge that you just climbed over the day before, coming over Douglas or Baxter Pass. So it's pretty special. Like I said, it's a 39-mile loop in there, but when I drive it, it takes at least 4 hours because I'm constantly stopping to take photos or run out to the end of an overlook and look at something spectacular. There's nothing quite like the Colorado National Monument. So I think one thing that I was kind of watching the chat as it was going by, and I noticed a lot of talk about one bike, two bikes. And the one thing that was not on our add-on slide that we will add to the website is that Pro Bike Express will be happy to take a second bike if you want to bring two. They will charge you $100 and keep it in a secured trailer for the week. There's no fee for you taking it out and putting it back and taking it out and putting it back. So if you want to ride it one day just for fun around town and then put it back and get your road bike out, they will handle that for you. The other option is we will be putting a video on the website soon, probably posting it on Instagram and a few other places, Facebook, that Morgan Murray, who owns Desert Gravel, he put this video together for us about how you can convert your gravel bike into a more comfortable road with more comfortable road wheels. And if you want to bring two sets of wheels, we're happy to carry them for you. Just make sure they're secure and padded in a bag so that they don't, not that they're going to get damaged, but I don't want to take just a set of wheels, and I want them, we want them padded and in a bag so that we can store them all in one place safely and securely. So if you register today or in the next 48 hours, use the code Rocky50, and that will give you the early bird price that we had until the 1st of March, I think it was. So it's good for the next 48 hours. Just go in and register with Rocky50 and you'll get the $550 rate. Current registration is $600. So I'm sure we didn't answer all your questions. I'll throw it over to Ann and the panel that's sitting here. Andrea has joined us. She's been answering a lot of your questions. She's our social media queen. And Erica has also joined us. She handles Expo HQ and merchandise. Ann, you're muted.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, so I did take all the questions that were submitted in advance and kind of broke them up into categories. I know we've got some questions in the Q&A that I'll need to catch up on since I was running the show. But I think first, why don't we start with some of the questions that came through about around the route. So one of the questions was, how much of the ride is truly on back roads, meaning roads without a lot of traffic, particularly trucks? And I know that's something that more people are concerned about.
So, you know, everything is a moment in time, but I've driven these roads 5 times now, pretty much the entire route 5 times so far. And in a day, if I count 20 cars on any segment, it's pretty much amazing. It is kind of oil and gas territory, so there will be semis, but there's nothing like we see in the Front Range, or big trucks. I shouldn't say semis, but there's nothing like we see in the Front Range. One of the reasons I chose this location when I was looking at this year's ride is because the roads are pristine, they're in really good condition, and the traffic is negligible. So I think you guys will really enjoy the fact that there aren't that many cars out there. There's ranchers, there's some oil and gas trucks, and there's a few local people, but it's really pretty minimal.
So there were several questions around the same thing, but questions around what signage will look like on route. Will GPS files be available? So talk a little bit about how riders are going to be able to access files and understand where their route's going and prepare themselves when they're on the road.
Yeah, so I don't like to put the ride with GPS files out too early because things do change. We have rumors of a bridge being replaced starting in May, so that may change the route into one of the towns, and we've had another bridge that they've been working on for months and months. So we know that's why I don't put things out soon, but I hope this year with everything in place and with all the county's permissions that we will be able to post the route the week before the ride happens. And we will be putting a texting service in place that will come later this year that will send out notifications about that. I encourage you all to opt into that texting service. That way, if you've downloaded the routes and we've found out the day before, which really does happen, that there has to be a change for some reason, we can text you and tell you to download a different ride with GPS route. When it comes to signage, I very much believe in signage, so we will have plenty of directional arrows out there, plenty of cautions out there, plenty of keep goings or whatever's out there to give you, we call them little love signs so that you know you're still on course, because about the time you're thinking, did I miss a turn? You can look up and see a sign in front of you. So we will have plenty of signage on the route. You won't even need your ride with GPS.
That's great. So I know this question came through social in our info box not too long ago and then was put in the drop form, but national monuments, will we need headlights and taillights? Are those going to be required to move through those monuments?
So I do not have the permit conditions yet for the Colorado National Monument, but I know in the past when the ride has gone through there, they have required headlights and taillights. I do know that if you ever plan on leaving in what they call twilight in the morning, the CSP will pull you off the road if you don't have a headlight or a taillight. So it's just good practice to have a headlight and a taillight, whether they're required in the monuments or not.
Perfect. That was it for route, but obviously as your chats come through, we'll take a look at those, and team, if you want to jump into the chat and start answering Laura's and they're answering questions, if you want to answer those off, please do so. But we'll go into lodging. So there's some questions around the Rangeley College, and is it 2 nights? Is it 3 nights? Do they have Wi-Fi, refrigerators, TVs? So can Laura or Sabra kind of talk about what that experience looks like? Registration experience, information around Rangeley and the dorm lodging.
So as many of you know, Meeker's been sold out for months with the hotel lodging that they have. So we're offering lodging for 3 nights in Rangeley if you choose to go there, or 2 nights in Craig, and we will shuttle you back and forth to your bike, so you can join the ride the next day. So, and we'll get the information about those shuttles up on the website. The Craig shuttle will run every 2 hours approximately, starting in the afternoon. The Rangeley shuttle will run every 3 hours approximately, starting in the afternoon. It's kind of nice to be able to go to Rangeley and stay 3 nights because you can drop your bag, unpack. There's showers right there in the dorms. They're nice facilities. I assume they're air conditioned. They do not have refrigerators because they are dorms. So, you know, if the college kid happens to leave his refrigerator, there might be one in the room, but there's no guarantee. If you have concerns about needing to keep things cool, let us know. You know, if it's a medication or something, let us know and we'll make that arrangement. Because they do have commercial kitchens and stuff around. So we'll figure out how we can keep your stuff cool for those nights if we need to. But again, the dorms are, you know, they're nice. They're twin beds, but they're right there next to everything. So I highly encourage you look into that and sign up for them because I think you'll enjoy that. And if you choose the 2 nights in Craig, that's fine too. We will be sending out some emails to people later so that we have an idea of who's where. So we make sure we're staffed with the right amount of shuttles and that we don't miss anybody in the morning when we go to pick you up to bring you back. So we will be sending out emails, and we encourage you to let us know where you're at and what nights you're staying there.
That was the next question, which was the optional shuttles to get people back and forth, specifically Craig. So can you give approximate time? So if we don't know that yet.
Yeah, I think I'm running from memory because I just put the shuttle scheduled together the other day, and I think it's going to be 2:00. Nope. 2:30, 4:30, and 6:30 from Meeker to Craig, and 2:00, 5:00, and 8:00 from Meeker to Rangeley. Approximately, but we'll make sure we get that up on the website for everybody. And we'll have whiteboards around the venues and at the shuttle stops announcing what times those shuttles are going so that there's no risk that somebody misses a shuttle.
Perfect. I know we covered this off in the presentation, but just to reconfirm it, question is, will camping and camping elevated be in the same location for all sites?
Absolutely, yes. There's plenty of room in all our locations for all the tents, so.
Perfect. There are a lot of questions about coffee, and I know that's really important to our team too. So I'll run through the questions, but will coffee be available in the morning for outdoor campers? So I'm moving to HQ camping now, category. Will coffee be available in the morning for outdoor campers not camping with Summit? Will coffee, breakfast, food vendors be stationed in the same area or within short walking distance from outdoor campers not camping with Summit?
Sabra, you're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I was
yes.
trying to find the mic, it moved, so. So I've been working with a coffee truck. They will be with us from Steamboat through Rangeley. And then I have also been talking to a very large caterer that can bring us coffee as well. So we are definitely working on it. We definitely have commitments for coffee in many different venues. And for those of you that are worried about not having Starbucks for several nights, there actually is a Starbucks at Northwestern Community College, and they plan to be open early and they plan to be open long. So there will definitely be coffee available.
Kind of in the same vein about food vendors, will food vendors be stationed in the same area or within short walking distance from outdoor campers?
Yes, absolutely. We have food trucks signed up for every venue, and they will all be at the HQ locations. The exception might be Fruta. They're going to be sprinkled around the town just to like little Easter eggs to get you guys to engage with the town.
Perfect. Camping, question about camping ahead of the event on Saturday. night before the event starts in Steamboat?
No, our camping is only for Sunday night. So if you want to camp Saturday night, you'll have to find one of the commercial locations.
We kind of covered this, but easiest and cheapest transportation idea is getting from Denver International Airport to the start. So I do believe that we've got those shuttle infographics now posted to our website. So if you go to ridetherockies.com, you'll be able to see everything that we went over in the presentation and be able to price it out. But obviously that round trip that we're offering will be the easiest to get you from Denver to Steamboat. Do we know the farthest distance between music, beer, and information and the camping areas?
It would be Fruita, and it's a block and a half. It's a 5-minute walk. Otherwise, they are all literally one on top of the other, pretty much.
Can you talk a little bit about indoor camping and how that'll work? So we know that there's a donation of 20, but can you talk about how they can get registered for it in each of those communities?
I think that we have plenty of capacity, and so it's going to be kind of based on a first come, first served basis. Basically, that's what I can say. I think we even have the option, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling because I'm thinking about the one fairgrounds that has they have 2 rooms that we can use. I think each room will hold 30 people. If we end up with more than that, we have another building that we can move into if we need to. So I don't think indoor camping, I think we have plenty of capacity everywhere, but it will be first come, first serve. We probably won't open the indoor camping until around 4 in the afternoon since it's volunteer run. But it will be available.
Showers, we haven't really talked about showers. Can you talk about what the options are for showers?
We have so many showers. We have showers everywhere. So there will be showers. Actually, that's not totally true. There will be showers at the Pork Bellies is coming again. So they will be at all the fairgrounds. We also have additional showers available to us in Fruita in the middle school, and additional showers. There's, I think, 4 locker rooms, as well as the dorms have dorm room showers. So there will be showers within an easy walk of every location. And we should be able to handle the capacity easily.
Perfect. And on the maps, obviously, Laura, we saw that there's a bike corral in every headquarter area. So just talk a little bit about how that's going to work, if that's any different than it's been in the past, or if it will remain the same as we've done it in the past.
It will be the same as we've done it in the past. So we'll have bike racks set up. We will have fencing around it. We will have overnight security to keep an eye on all the bikes. Where we can, we are using either basketball courts or other courts that are fenced all the way around, or fenced at least on 3 sides, and then we'll add fencing to the 4th side if we need to. You'll bring your bike in, we'll rack it, or you can rack it, but in order to get your bike out, you will have a wristband bike band check. So I encourage all of you to take a picture of you standing by your bike in case for some reason you lose your wristband. You have it on your phone as proof that this truly is your bike in case we need some secondary verification.
And then a question that just came through the chat, kind of in that same vein, is should they be like locking it up in the bike corral? Should they bring a bike lock for that?
I would say you want to bring a bike lock anyway, just because if you want to ride into town, you want to lock your bike up so you can go out to dinner or something, because our towns are so close. It's easy to just ride into downtown and find a restaurant. We will also have shuttles. The shuttles are going to be creative this year, but we will have shuttles. And so I would bring a bike lock. And as far as in the bike corral, that's completely up to you. If you feel more secure, but if you've seen the bike racks, there's not really anything to lock them to. So but we will have security just like we had last year.
Perfect. One last question around HQ camping. Can riders boil water on small camping stoves, butane cartridge, in or near the camping areas at the host towns?
yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. There may be fire bans because it is Colorado, but fire bans generally don't include the small butane propane stoves.
So one of the questions around day passes, day pass option for days 4 and 5 to Dinosaur and Fruta. What is the parking situation like at the community college in Rangeley on days 4 and 5? Is there room for 1 day or 2 day parking?
So parking in Fruta will be, or in Rangeley, sorry, will be at the Elk Park, which is about 1.5 miles away from Colorado Northwestern Community College. But we will have long-term parking or 2-day parking there for everybody. We will have shuttles to get you up. The start on day 4, which is the Rangeley day, will be from Elks Park for the gravel riders. So we will be wanting to get everybody down there to start. And I'm doing that just so if there's anybody driving in Thursday morning for the ride, they're not trying to cross cyclists and come into the community college. We're just going to move everybody down to Elks Park for the start that day. But there's plenty of parking there, and we'll have maps and information and all of that out as the event gets closer. Once we get working on the rider manual, and get that sent out to all of you, a lot of those logistics will be detailed out in the rider manual.
Perfect. And I think one of the questions too is, so I take the shuttle from Fruta to Steamboat for day 0. How is my bike transported?
So that's Summit Cycling Solutions, and they will transport your bike as well. That's part of the deal. If you're a prologue rider and you're coming in on the 8th, then we will transport your bike. So it will be carried there. We prefer it not to be in the box. We prefer it to be able to go on a SAG vehicle or on a SAG trailer. So if you're flying in and you've got your box, make sure you get there in time to get it unboxed and put together so we can get it on the shuttle.
Perfect.
And Zach, I think, would agree with that as well from Summit Cycling Solutions.
I know he's on, so that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm going to go back to route a little bit because there's some questions coming into the chat that I want to make sure we get to, but a lot of questions around what type of food will be available at aid stations. And then obviously you talked about aid stations being no more than 10 to 14 miles apart, and you're still working on permitting for those. But what type of food can they expect at aid stations? And there'll be supplemental food vendors en route in addition to the aid station?
First, it's 14 to 20 miles apart.
Oh, 20, sorry.
That's okay.
Making it easier, sorry.
Yeah, easier for them, harder for us.
Oh.
So we'll have good aid station food. We haven't settled on a hydration mix yet. We'll have some sort of nutrition such as power bars, kind bars, Kate's bars, different things like that available. Fruit, bananas, those kind of things. As I said, I'm hoping that I can get a food truck in Hayden that will set up, and you can purchase lunch if you want to in Hayden. He will then be joining us later in the venue. Same thing, there's the American Bar and Grill in Dinosaur for day 4 that wants to make lunch for the riders. So we'll have signs there. You can stop in and grab that food. Where we can, I'm trying to encourage community volunteers to come out and do, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or do bake sales or that kind of thing. But we have to be cognizant of the Bureau of Land Management and whether we're on their property or not, because that changes the whole permitting issue if we're trying to do food on their property. But we'll definitely have plenty of food at the aid stations, and we'll try and shake it up a little bit. So you might have one thing one day and something totally different the next day. But I guarantee that there'll always be something high in protein, something high in potassium, and a hydration mix available for you.
Yep, that's great. So we'll go into some general questions. So packets, and this is likely something that Erica, you'll want to answer. There's a couple of questions around packet mailing. When will packets arrive? And then the other question, so let's talk through that real quick, because I know there's some new information around that.
Hi, everyone. We open registration with not mailing out registration packets to anybody. So that means that your packet would be available for pickup at Steamboat Springs. Due to some inquiries from day riders and other riders who've asked about that packet mailing option, it's just not feasible for them to get to that expo before the ride. We recently have added packet mailing to your registration. It's a small fee, just covers really the cost of shipping and handling your package to get it out to you. So we will shut off packet mailing between May 1st and May 15th. That ensures our team gets enough time to mail all of those packets out if you end up selecting that during the registration process. I can put some instructions in the chat for how to add that if you've already registered. And you can also email us at info@ridetherockies.com and we can get that added for you and get a link sent, or we can send you those instructions. Either way, you can still have your packet mailed to you, or you can pick it up at the expo in Steamboat Springs.
Perfect.
And
Thank you.
let me know if I'm speaking out of turn, but for those of you that are driving to Fruta and won't have your packet yet, we will have long-term parking passes there, as well as a list of who has purchased the long-term parking, so that we'll be able to get your car tagged correctly.
Yeah, we'll have that available at both locations, since when people are arriving in Steamboat Springs as well, they might not have that packet yet. We'll have a list and all of that information, so nothing to worry about there.
So that I know there was a question, and I'll just kind of reiterate that. So for the person who asked about the 2 days, they signed up for 2 days. They won't be in Steamboat. You will want to go in and ask for packet mailing. That's the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, you would have to come a day ahead of your ride to pick up your packet at our info center at headquarters. So the best way to ensure that you get it and don't have to adjust your travel schedule is to get that packet mailed to you. From and these are kind of a hodgepodge. So, can sag wagon support accommodate people that may not be able to complete the section each day?
That is while they're out there. So yes, they will be available to pick you up if you can't. They are not a taxi, though. They won't pick you up, take you to the top of a hill, and let you out to ride, have the fun part of the ride. So yeah, you got to earn that ride. But yes, we will have SAG support out there to help with that, or to help with minor mechanical if it's needed, for sure.
A lot of questions around support drivers and support non-riders, and if those folks need to be registered, and what the direction would be for any support non-riders.
So we do have the week-long vehicle pass that allows you to bring a vehicle along with the ride. Normally, I would say we will give you an alternate route that we want you to travel. In most of this event, there isn't really an alternate route. So in our rider manual, we're going to have instructions asking you to please not start until a little bit later in the day, so that you stay out of the way of the cyclists, or to get up and start really early to stay out of the way of the cyclists. Because that goes back to the question about how much traffic there is. There isn't any traffic unless we create it. So, you know, we'll be reiterating that in the rider manual. But yes, you can buy the week-long vehicle pass, and that gives you the ability to park very close to the venue's HQ, camping, and all of that. So if you don't have the pass, then you're going to have to find a location in town that will allow you to overnight park. So I encourage you to get the vehicle pass, and then you won't have any issues. Several of our locations do have RV hookups. You'll still have to pay for those, but if you're bringing a vehicle, they're very close to our location. So if you're bringing a vehicle that you want to charge maybe 1 or 2 of the nights, that option might be available as well. So.
I know we're nearing in that 8:30 mark, but we did get a lot of questions around that gravel piece of things. So I want to make sure we kind of quickly run through and reiterate what the options are for gravel day riders, specifically around the equipment that we would recommend that they bring, and then if it should be a set of gravel wheels, if they should bring an additional bike. Obviously, you did talk a little bit about taking a second bike along. So can you just kind of run through those pieces again? What would you recommend with tires if they choose to just switch out tires? What would you recommend if it was a secondary bike? And then just reiterate what that bike shipment or bike carry looks like.
Yeah, so you can bring 2 bikes, as I said. Pro Bike Express has a secured trailer. He can haul up to 30 bikes in that trailer. If we have more, we at Ride the Rockies will have the ability to haul more bikes as well. The other option is to bring 1 bike, a gravel bike, and 2 sets of wheels. And I would bring 25 to 28 millimeter tires for the road portion of the ride, and then have a set of wheels to switch out that are 43 to 45 millimeters. On these gravel roads, Desert Gravel recommends you use a bit. Most people tend to ride on a 35 mil tire, I think, for gravel, but they recommend you bring a little bit wider, a little bit more tread on your tires for these roads. So, and again, if you put them in a wheel bag or something, a duffel bag that's padded up and secure so that we can put them all in one place in our luggage truck and keep them safe and secure until you need them. Make sure they're labeled, and we will carry your wheels, your extra set of wheels, for free. We won't swap them out every day. So if you do that, expect to come get them Wednesday night. We'll lay them out for you Wednesday night so you can swap out for Thursday if you're going to ride the gravel portion.
And then can you talk a little bit about support on the gravel routes?
So we will have aid stations on the gravel route. They'll be a little more distant. They'll be about every 25 miles. We will have some OHV and off-road vehicles out there keeping an eye on people in case there's anything serious that goes on that we need some support. We'll also have medical support out there on OHVs. We won't necessarily have SAG vehicles out there because gravel's a little more all rider, all independence kind of thing. So we don't want to spoil you too bad, but we will have a sweep vehicle making sure everybody gets back in from the course, and plenty of personnel out there keeping an eye on everybody. So if there is a problem, we'll be able to take care of it quickly. And the courses, well, the Thursday course has a common aid station with the road riders as well. So you won't feel like you've been abandoned out there. You'll get to see some of the road riders.
Nice. So that for my section of the questions off of the jot form that was submitted have been covered. I know you guys have been furiously answering questions in the chat. So for the team, if there's anything that wasn't answered that you've seen in the chat, if you want to answer it here, I'm trying to play catch up over there in the chat.
I've been answering. I haven't been able to look at the chat much. So if there's anything in there you want.
I think Laura, AP, and I think most
Yeah.
AP Eric have like tagged them.
Yeah.
So obviously the first time we've done a town hall.
Thanks, Matt.
Obviously the first time we've done a town hall, but a lot of the information that you're seeing here does exist already on ridetherockies.com and various pages. But to one of the questions, I think from Janet, we are working through categorizing all of these questions and making it a lot easier to find and more bite-sized to find on our website. So we do appreciate you joining us tonight. Sabra, if you want to kind of say some final words, and if you haven't joined us if you haven't registered yet, obviously we'll send out an email to everyone who attended and registered for this town hall tomorrow with that coupon code that we flashed on the screen earlier for that early bird rate. So just know that that's coming in your inbox tomorrow.
Yes, I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. I think we've had up to like 170 people on this as people come and go. And I'm happy to answer all these questions. Again, info@ridetherockies.com. Erin does a fantastic job of cycling all of the questions out to whoever needs to answer them on a pretty timely manner. So feel free to reach out that way. I see a question about bike flights just came up. I'm working with them right now to get the info up on the website. That should be on there by this weekend. We have 2 or 3. I was waiting for a call today. Actually, we have 2 or 3 shops in Steamboat that will take bikes, and then we have 2 shops in Fruita that will put your bikes back in the box if you need them to, or just ship them out from there. So we'll get that up there. Andrea, I like your shameless plug. It's very good. But there is a lot of good information about Ride the Rockies and RagBri on the Just Go Bike podcast. So I encourage you guys to subscribe to that. It's a lot of fun. In fact, our prologue guest is just because I heard him interviewed on Just Go Bike and liked him so much that I called and asked if he would come and talk about his adventures. For the prologue people. So that's a little teaser for the prologue. But anyway, thank you all. Remember Rocky 50, if you register in the next 48 hours, that will give you a good discount. I can't emphasize enough how absolutely beautiful this year's ride is going to be. It's like nothing that Ride the Rockies has gone through before. And one of our crew members has been on like 18 Ride the Rockies, and she's the one. That's a quote from her. We've never seen this kind of view on Ride the Rockies before. So I think you'll really enjoy it. So please tell all your friends to come join us. We do have mountains, but they're on a steady grade, so they're not as hard to climb as Iowa Hills. Shameless plug for the Rocky Mountains. And you're just really going to enjoy yourselves. So
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you all.
Yeah. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh, 2 tickets? That was well.